What's going on, guys? It's Joe here, back with Bountiful Gardens, Hillsboro. You know, we're getting deeper into autumn. The leaves are glowing, and there's still plenty of time for growing. Like we discussed last week, landscape design is all about facing environmental problems with beautiful, natural solutions. And no matter what challenge you're presented with, we're sure to have the right plants for you. One of the most common questions we get is, what is a good plant for a shade garden? Well, this week, we take a look at 3 shade-loving perennials that can brighten up even the shadiest spot in your garden: Hellebores, toad lilies, and Heuchera. So, let's shed some light on these shade-loving beauties. Hellebores are one of the most valuable plants that you can have in your shade garden. It's deer-resistant, evergreen, and it flowers at a time when you need flowers the most, late winter into early spring. Hellebores do well in moist, rich, well-drained soils, but they can become drought tolerant once established. I've actually seen hellebores do well in a variety of conditions as long as they're not getting baked from the afternoon sun. Right now, we have over 30 varieties of hellebore at both our Ewing and our Hillsboro locations, the most we've ever had. So come on down and pick out the perfect hellebore for you today.
Hellebores are a beautiful, compact, mounding evergreen perennial that have an average of 12-24 inches in height and width, but can be as tall as 36 inches or as short as 9 inches, depending on the cultivar. They can bloom as late in the year as November and December, or as early in the year as February and March. They attract a variety of early and late flying insects such as butterflies and bees, and the flowers can persist in the plant for 4 to 5 months. Though the flowers fade in color, they provide a lot of focal interest in the garden for a long period of time.
Here at Bountiful Gardens, we got an abundance of hellebores this season. Some of my favorite varieties are going to be Anna's Red and Frost Kiss. What I like about them the most is when it snows, the red flowers really stand out against the snow.
Hellebores are one of our most popular end-of-season perennials, and there's a lot of reasons why. For one, they have beautiful, lush, dark foliage with really interesting leaf striping to them, and they come in all different patterns and shapes. But not only is their foliage gorgeous, they also put out these delicate little blooms during colder temperatures when most other perennials aren't blooming, like early spring or late fall. The flowers come in a wide range of hues, but what really makes them popular among New Jersey gardeners is their deer and rabbit resistance. Deer and rabbits don't touch these, which makes them really great along borders or as a verdant feature for a container garden.
Hellebores are known by many a name: hellebore, Lenten Rose, Christmas Rose. However, one you may not be familiar with is Oracle Rose. Back in the olden times, they used to use the flowers of hellebores to predict the weather of the winter by when the blooms appeared. And I think that's pretty cool.
With their lush foliage, long-lasting flowers, and extremely high deer and rabbit resistance, hellebores are a must-have for any shade-loving garden. Up next is a super unique, fall-blooming shade dweller with show-stopping flowers. Let's hop into the wonderful world of the toad lily. There's not too many plants that bloom both in the fall and in the shade, so the toad lily is an amazing exception. I wait all year for these toad lilies to bloom, just so I can gaze at these awesome alien-like flowers. With its tolerance to wet soils, shade, and the fact that it's fall blooming, this plant certainly fills a trouble spot in many people's gardens.
Toad lilies are a fascinating fall blooming plant in your shade garden. They get about 1 to 3 feet tall and about 1 to 2 feet wide. The more moisture you give them, the taller they can get. This arching, shade-loving perennial can tolerate a little bit more sun as long as the soil moisture doesn't dry out. It attracts a variety of different insects and pollinators such as bees, moths, butterflies, as well as hummingbirds.
Toad lilies are a very interesting perennial. These orchid-like flowers bloom from late summer going into fall, depending on which cultivar you get. When it comes to finding a location for them, it's best to think about where they naturally grow, which is along stream banks, ravines, and damp woodlands. They're great under deciduous trees where leaf litter absorbs a lot of extra moisture.
Toad lilies are another beautiful end-of-season bloom that are loved by gardeners and pollinators alike. They have really interesting, intricate flowers, and they're used to areas that are a little more boggy, but not wet. Think of the forest floor, where they can be fed a really rich diet of compost daily. When planted in a shady area of the garden among hostas or even hellebores, these really make for a great standout feature flower.
Toad lilies are one of my favorite late-blooming shade perennials because of their beautiful orchid-like flowers that attract our late-season pollinators. They are also a great option for any moist spots in your yard, such as in a wetland or along a stream bank. And as a fun fact, the little spots on their petals are their namesake, as someone looked at the spots and thought of a toad.
So like I said before, if you've got a moist, shady spot in your garden, toad lilies can brighten it up with these tropical flowers and foliage. Rounding out this week's deep dive is a vibrant, drought-resistant perennial with festive flower plumes and a spectrum of foliage colors. Let's take a look at Heuchera. Fall is such an exciting time of the year because we get to experience so many colors, but no plant excites me more than Heuchera. And the best part is we get to enjoy this color all year long. I just love the tidy, mounding effect that this plant has, which makes it such a soft but vibrant pop of color in any shade garden. And now, thanks to our partners at East Coast Natives, we have the New Jersey native Heuchera, as well as 2 other North American native Heucheras.
Coral bells are an absolutely stunning semi-evergreen to evergreen perennial, coming in a variety of different colors, sizes, and textures. They average from about 6 to 18 inches tall and 12 to 36 inches wide, filling any niche in your garden. In New Jersey, we have one native coral bell called Heuchera americana or American alum root. However, North America has almost every single native species of coral bell in the entire world. Isn't that fascinating? They also attract a variety of different bees, hummingbirds, as well as butterflies when they're in bloom.
So if you're looking for a very low maintenance plant, I would highly suggest coral bells. Coral bells thrive in both partial sun all the way to full shade. They are deer resistant, rabbit resistant, and the colors are very striking anywhere you put them.
A North American native that's really increasing in popularity, Heuchera, or as I like to call them, coral bells, is a beautiful perennial that's good in almost any garden. The foliage comes in such a wide variety of colors, and when treated properly, they put out these delicate little flower stalks with bell-shaped flowers, earning them their name. These flower stalks are also great in cut flower arrangements, so you can always pop out to the garden, snip a few, and pop them in a vase.
Coral bells are one of my favorite shade-loving perennials because not only do they add beautiful colors through their foliage, but their flowers are a wonderful pollinator attractant for shady spots. To go along with that, these are very, very drought tolerant, which makes them a great option for your containers.
With so many colors and textures to choose from, there's no doubt that we have the perfect Heuchera for Heuchera right here at Bountiful Gardens. Now that you're well acquainted with hellebore, toad lily, and Heuchera, you're ready to bring some color to that shady spot on your property. And if you need a helping hand, we're always here to give you some gardening guidance. Thanks again for joining us on yet another one of our deep dives. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you like this video, leave us a comment down below, and let us know which plants you want to see next, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of this amazing content that we're making for you. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.